Hello and welcome back to the People of the Internet podcast. This is episode 4. It's not a big number, it's just 4. Today I'm your host, as always, Els Maximum. I play games on the internet. I'm joined by my friend, guest today, Rorik. Rorik, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello there. I am here. I exist.
Oh, he exists. Ow. Ow, ow. Yeah, I should also mention today, background, it's not going to be the Discord, because Rorik had the brilliant idea of making it Minecraft. So today we're going to be playing Minecraft. And Rorik, you want to explain why that is? Like, actually introduce yourself besides just saying hello.
Yeah, hi. I'm a person on the internet who creates things generally in the variety of coding and data packs for Minecraft. I also do other things like watching anime and other things. Yes. Today we've got the inventory link data pack on in the background.
Did you make said data pack?
Yeah. I actually finished making this just today. This is a new updated version of it.
So you've played Minecraft. We talked about this for a while, but you've played Minecraft for a while. And before we get into like the data pack things and all that, how would you want to describe yourself as like a Minecraft player?
Well, I mean, I'm more of a technical player, so I like all sorts of aspects about the game that are more intricate and that you can like kind of put together like a puzzle. So I like the redstone, I like the farm making, but I also like the modding aspects, and I like the coding aspects of it, such as with data packs and commands, which it has its whole system of and custom environment and all. Oh, we made 2 crafting tables.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so that's how I got to. I always found it interesting, and I mean, the more commands you do, the better you get over time, and eventually you transition to data packs if you stick with it for long enough.
I'm very different when it comes to the sense of where I went from Minecraft, because I went to the more building side when you did the technical, but pretty
Yeah, building isn't my
similar
forte
veins.
though. I consider myself
Why are you
decent at
mining
it, but
andesite?
not good enough. Dude, there's just so much andesite.
Okay. So just to give a quick explanation for people who won't know, what's the difference between like a data pack and a mod? Because it can be very confusing and seem like the same thing a lot of the time.
Yeah, because you got data packs, mods, plugins, and then all sorts of other stuff. Data packs are basically like vanilla mods because you don't need to install anything really, you don't need to modify the game, so to speak, to use them. So of course, in using them, you're modifying the game, but it's like with the game's intended system of modification. Their data packs are composed of entirely of commands and other sorts of JSON files, which are things like loot tables, recipes, tags, uh, predicates, stuff like that, which are basically all the tools that modders use from data packs. Modders typically don't use functions, but they do use the rest of that JSON stuff because that's also what the people who make Minecraft use. And it's like the tools of certain aspects of the game there. Now the functions part is where it becomes interesting because we've got all the commands, and that's where the intricacies of learning data packs comes in because boy, there are a lot of them.
Yeah, I always found it very interesting because basically a data pack I always found to, if you know how to use it and manipulate it, you can just make something that could very well be seen as a mod.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Like the better,
And
like some
play
people
the
I've
same
seen,
as some
yeah, they make
mods.
insane stuff.
It's a lot of iron.
Oh my god, was that all from the shipwreck?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so I guess like do you want to advertise here quickly like some of the exact data packs that people might know you for? Like just to show like, hey, yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, back in the time when there was a big boom in the like Minecraft or Minecraft what if type videos, I think in 2020 and late 2019, I first became known as a creator alongside Ziplaw online for a pack alongside Wilbur Soot called Random Item Skyblock. Wilbur was the one who played through that initially and boosted its popularity. But other
Mm-hmm.
than that, I've also been known to make certain other things, working in conjunction with other YouTubers, such as I worked with Skull to make a custom difficulty for him, and also a like an infinity dice, which is kind of like a lucky block type thing, D&D ish, which he did a good role play on. But I also made stuff for lesser known YouTubers in the American world, such as Fixeye, I think his name was, or Suhaib. These are pretty well known or popular YouTubers, but like in Russian or I think it's Arabic. Um, because yeah, you can make money off this stuff too sometimes if you're good enough at it. Um, but I've
Yeah,
also
but
worked with other YouTubers like Skip the Tutorial, and we made a thing where item blocks come to life when you mine them, um, and some other minor things. Also with like Sunday, I've hosted some events with a bunch of YouTubers such as Captain Sparkles, Elpa, Socks for One, a whole myriad of things. Yeah,
mm-hmm. So you definitely know what you're talking about when you say, "Hey, yeah, I've made this or I can do this, whatever."
yeah. I'm
Definitely
not the
have the
best. I'm
background
definitely
for
not the
it.
best in my field, but in this field, but I know my way around it for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, how difficult would you say it is for like making a data pack compared
Like getting
to a
into it.
mod or like yeah, getting into it? At least like I don't know, what are some tips you'd have for beginners, stuff like that?
Yeah, okay. Well, for one, also we're gonna want two pickaxes in our hotbar because when it updates, it kind of resets your mining thing. So if we want to both mine at the same time, that's why. Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah,
I see, I
so
see.
for when getting into data packs, well, I mean, I suppose I could mention how I started getting into data packs because I started out just messing around with commands. I did that for like maybe two versions of the game. Like I would just have a world where I'd be like, this is cool because I can like make this is cool thing happen with commands, and I would just like slowly go from like having like one command effect to like two command effect to like maybe linking five commands. Adding by commands I mean like command blocks. And then like over time you just learn more commands using like the Minecraft wiki, and also like YouTube tutorials. Shout out to Cloudwolf. He does quite good intermediate and beginner tutorials, but he
What
also
did
has
you
some
do
advanced
with my
tutorials in there.
fucking what did you do with my buried treasure map?
Oh,
It's
I chucked
gone.
it out. Do you need it?
I can't
I
find
thought you
it.
got it
I'm like
already.
actually garbage at finding these things.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so I just started out with commands, and like gradually learn them more and more over quite a span of time. Here's your map back. Um, and then eventually I transitioned over to data packs actually when I was speaking with Ziplaw at first, on one of my first posted packs online, Creeper Rain. That was originally made entirely from command blocks. It was basically a structure that you would load in, and then it had like a cube of command blocks that would run, and then
Mm-hmm.
we translated that into a data pack because the simplest form of a data pack, well, maybe not the simplest form, but the simplest form of a data pack in the sense of commands is just some functions which are files that contain just normal Minecraft commands. Like the main difference between data packs with their functions and command blocks, aside from all the custom stuff you can do with like predicates and loot tables and advancements, is that functions can run other functions. So if you want to do like instead of using conditional command blocks or like comparators and stuff like that, you would use functions that like run each other, and it's also more organized, of course, because you can use functions and label all the stuff. And comments are nice. But yeah, getting back to stuff you might want to know if you're first learning data packs. Well, don't be afraid of using command generators, because the way I learned commands, yes, the command wiki, but I didn't just use that. I also used certain command generators like MC Stacker. That one's a very good one. But there's also other ones. Misode has some very good ones, though those are more geared less towards commands and more towards the JSON files that are the rest of data packs other than commands. And then like the more you use those, like just every time you use them, like kind of glance at the output it's giving you, at what code it's telling you, teaching you about. Because if you like look at the syntax of what it's generating, then you can slowly start to learn like the formatting and how it all works. And then eventually you can you don't need a generator for this thing or this thing, because it might be faster to type it out by hand rather than entering the values. And then sooner or later you've become pretty good at it.
Where is this
Um,
thing? I'm
yeah.
struggling
By
immensely
the
to
way,
find
yeah,
this over here.
just open F3, look at your chunk coordinates, and go to 99. That's where it is. Do you know where your chunk coordinates are?
Yeah.
It's the thing that says chunk colon under your coordinates. It says chunk colon.
Sure. 3. Chunk colon. Yeah. Chunk.
Yeah. Try to go to 99.
The entire thing is 99. I'm going insane.
Oh, sorry, not chunk. Maybe it's block. The square brackets on block. Go to where it says 99. Like 90 or 9 something 9. And that'll be where it is.
Okay. So moving on from some data pack things, let's talk a bit about
your
how.
last things on that subject.
Okay, if we have a
MC
few more
commands
things, we'll talk about
Discord.
it.
MC commands Discord, very helpful. Those guys know their shit. As well as /help command, like just reading all the commands that are there. And then if you want to learn one, like just look at the wiki. That's also a nice thing to do when you're starting out, because there's a lot more commands than you think. I don't even remember some of those in there, mostly because they're not useful, but also, yeah, because some of them are, you just don't expect them, or you've never heard of them. And then other than that, yeah, I mean, just you can also look at what other people have made, like find and just try and interpret their code. And if you get to the data pack part, make sure to get a code editor like VS Code. That's a good one. But yeah.
So yeah, moving on, as I said, from just Minecraft code stuff, I guess, or like data packs and all that. Let's talk a bit about how Minecraft's kind of evolved and changed over time since you've been playing and whatever. Because we were talking a bit about this the other day, but you've been playing for a very long time. I know I've been playing for a very long time. Like, how has it changed in said time of you just playing?
Well, so I've been playing, for context, since about 1.7, I think. Though I was on console back then. But that's about 10 years, 9 years ish that I've been playing. And while I don't know if I can speak towards like the general feel of the game, I mean, like whenever something new is added, it doesn't really feel like Minecraft, but then like you get used to it and you're like, okay, you get it. But I would say that certainly in the newer versions, they've catered a lot more towards us data pack creators, like encouraging the development of data packs and like the usage of it and modding in the future, because they've stated that they want to like promote it to the point that it can be like an alternative to modding completely.
Well, the way I view it is,
this
and
can
the
be
way I explain
seen,
it to people even, is like Minecraft data packs is just in its own right a coding language. Like if you learn that, it
commands
can directly be translated into, hey, I now know a bit of like coding and going from there. Uh-oh, I'm getting desynced a bit because I'm far away.
Although I will say knowing coding stuff helps you a lot more with datapacks than knowing datapacks helps with code.
But a
But
lot
it
of the
certainly is
same
an
form
introduction.
or the
Yeah.
same like ideas work, and like it's better to have that than not to have it.
Yeah.
Where are you?
I am, I guess, southeast,
The
like
coordinate?
600, 200.
600, 200. All right, I'm 480, so I'll be there in a minute.
Yeah.
So, over the course of time, since you've been playing for so long, are there any like really big changes? Like, what's the biggest change in your opinion? And like, what is some of the like worst change in your opinion?
Well, I mean, looking back to the stuff I was talking about before with the shift towards data packs, 1.13 is when they first added, like, I think they were called like function packs, or they were just like functions or something, which is
Mm-hmm.
not quite data packs, but it's just like specifically the function part of data packs, which is a step in the right direction. And then in 1.14, they actually added data packs. And let me give you my coordinates.
No, just go there. That's a village.
Yeah, no, I know. A minute.
Oh.
But yeah, so this change, this data pack stuff began becoming relevant around that time. And then I would say the biggest changes, though, especially for data packs and commands and such, are in this latest update 1.19. Because there's a lot of stuff in it to do with like data packs and commands. For example, like, and this is all just 1.19 alone. We have the new /place command, which allows you to place structures, which you would normally need structure blocks for. Features, which are like world generation features. Jigsaw blocks, which are kind of like chain structure blocks. Templates, which are like the preset structures, the entire structures that aren't normally contained in structure blocks. So like nether fortresses and ocean monuments, stuff like that. And that's just one command. Then we also have custom dimension seeds that was altered in 1.19 so that they pulled from the main seed, so it's more like it adapts more to the world instead of being a static thing. We have the /fill biome command, which, I mean, just nice for map creators so they get a nice hue on their stuff, but also just good in general, as something that you just couldn't do at all in the past. Chat styling and reporting. I know this is not something that most people like, but chat styling is actually done with data packs. It's something that I don't think is used too much, but it's where when you put stuff in chat, it gets all fancy. That's also why you can see a preview of what you're typing out in chat if that's enabled on a server. And of course, no one really likes the reporting part. I agree. It's kind of stupid. But
Yeah.
you can disable that at your own discretion on the server side if you're hosting. There was also game rules added to do with like explosion drop delay decay, which means like when stuff explodes, the blocks either all drop or have a chance to drop. There was a game rule added for snow accumulation height, which just makes it more customizable so that you get like one layer of snow, or you get like 8, like a full block even. They even added customization for water and lava source creation, like an infinite water / lava source. And global sound events. They added a game rule for that, for stuff like the Ender Dragon spawning, or the Wither, the End Portal opening. And they also added stuff catered towards us command people, such as the OP items creative tab. And they also reordered all the creative tabs in general. So just generally like encouraging these sorts of like command type stuff. Can't forget lave, made with lave. But then they've also got execute if biome. That was something added in 1.19. There were a lot of resource pack improvements. I'm not too big into resource packs, but I did hear about that. There was also stuff like the new format for snapshots. It was changed in 1.19 so that when a new snapshot comes out, it's kind of like a snapshot for the next version. But if there's a major version they're also working on, then that is pushed into the same snapshot. So that's why you see 1.19.4 is the main focus of the snapshots right now. But 1.20 features are also in the snapshot, in the same snapshot, to be enabled as like almost like a data pack, but kind of not. And that system was introduced. I think it's called like experimental features that was introduced in 1.19. I think 0.3 or maybe 0.4. And then in 1.19.4, there's a whole like another whole like list of custom data pack stuff, data pack / command stuff. Like you've got before you would use armor stands for like everything display because they can like hold items or blocks and these things, and then they can become invisible. And so people would use armor stands, which aren't very optimized as their form of displaying stuff. But now in 1.19.4, we've got display entities that can just show hover text of anything. They can show an item. They can show a block. They can these items and blocks. You can transform them. You can make them huge. You can rotate them. Like it's stuff that we've like never seen before. And of course, it's all fully optimized because it's intended for data pack creation and commands and such. We have the interaction entity, which I mean, while right now it's not very
Oh
interesting.
no, I fucked it up.
Here, I'll
I
mine it.
fucked it up.
Where are you? Where'd you put the portal?
The lava pool, kind of like, what is this, north the village?
North. Okay. Because yeah, I'm just talking so I can mine that. But yeah, and then they've got the interaction entity, which is like a left right click detection thing. But right now it also prevents you from hitting stuff behind it, so it's more like a hitbox. And it's like not very fast either. So it's kind of mid right now, but like it could easily become something very good if they made like toggles for if you can hit stuff behind it, if they made it fast. Because right now it's stuck to the 20 tick game loop for its detection. Whereas you have things like advancement, eye of ender, right click detection, which is much faster because it's based on I think it's based on how fast well, advancements run a lot faster. They can run in between ticks is the thing. So if interactions did that went that fast, they would be a lot better. Also, they can be customized, like the size can be customized, and it would be epic. It would be just absolutely insane if they could also act as like actual solid things that you could stand on. Because then you can pair that with the display stuff, and then you could have like your custom block or like a custom size block that you could interact with. Because right now, the only thing that you can really do that with is by putting some like block inside of your display block, or you could put like a shulker inside of the display block to give it a thing that you can stand on, a hitbox that you can stand on. But it'd be cool if the interactions could do that because you can customize their size with the MBT. And we're not even like halfway through the list of 1.19.4 stuff. We've got command block modification block limit. That's a another game rule which allows you to bypass or increase the /fill and /clone block limit, which is in the past and currently is by default 32,700. I think it's 68, which is like 2 to the power of is it 15?
It only
maybe?
took us 20
No.
minutes to get to the nether. Good job.
Yeah. And then we've also got like even more stuff. We got /damage, new command 1.19.4. We've got /ride, just ride another entity with that now.
Holy shit, hold up. Come through the portal. You won't believe this.
Hey, wait, what do we got? Hold on, let me get a bed, actually.
Well,
Alright, I'm coming.
Right beside the portal is, we spawned in a crimson forest. Right beside it is a warped forest and a fortress.
Oh my god. Wait, where's the fortress?
Over here.
Oh my god. All right, I can farm Enderman in the warped forest. You can go to the fortress.
I guess I will suffer. Thank you. I didn't want to do this, but all right.
But yeah, so like we've got slash damage, new command, very good. In the past, we would have to use stuff like slash effect wither, and then we'd have to wait for that to effect. It was kind of jank. We've got slash ride. You just really couldn't do anything to force another player to ride something in the past. You could force other entities to ride other entities, but you couldn't force a player to ride them. So that's
I think
another
I saw
nice
a
new
clip
addition.
of that actually, but I didn't put
Yeah,
two
yeah.
and two together.
And then we've also got other things like custom damage types using datapacks. This feeds into the slash damage command. But these are basically, they're not as cool as they sound, but it's like you can add your own like sources of damage, which are like an amalgamation of the existing ones. I don't know too much about them yet because they're still brand new in a snapshot, but that's just like to show like how much they're adding to these data packs and commands. We've also got slash effect infinite. In the past, you would have a high number, and that high number would just label as infinite, but it was really only like 20 minutes. But now in the new snapshot, you can just type in infinite, and it'll stay there forever. You don't have to have any command blocks that are constantly refreshing your effect now. There's a new execute condition added, or a bunch of them actually. Execute if slash unless loaded or dimension. We have execute on attacker, controller, leasher, owner, passengers, target, vehicle, and origin. And those are all really like just generally useful stuff. They also tie into slash ride. But that stuff, like before, you would have to, if you were able to do it, because not all the stuff you're able to do in the past, but you would have to use like MBT stuff and like look at the UUID, the unique identifier thing tag, and you have to like compare it, and it really was not efficient at all. But now we just got that in one command in slash execute. Slash execute, by the way, is like the best command in datapack slash command stuff. Like if you're looking for one command to learn, that's it. But then again, that's like a huge command. It's basically your like go-to, like half of your commands in doing all this stuff are gonna be branching off from slash execute, because slash execute is like your if unless, and it like checks everything. It goes at locations, goes from entities. It's quite the command. But you've also got stuff like horse breeding that was changed. It was quite underwhelming in previous versions, but in 1.19.4, that's adjusted, which then just opens a whole new avenue for people, especially technical players. But it also like opens it more towards the casual players now, because it's a lot easier to do. Before it was more stupid, let's say. It was really kind of hard to get a really good horse, but now it's just more like if you put in the some amount of effort, then you'll get it, which is great for allowing people to enjoy more parts of the game. You've got
blanked.
stuff
Was
like
this
auto
on
jump
horse breeding
off.
for a second? Wait.
Auto jump off by default, that has changed in 1.19.4. Hells, you'll never have to delay your starting of the recording because you had to turn auto jump off.
Don't call me out like this. But okay, I totally blanked on what you were explaining for a second, which is not good, but whatever. First, can you make a shield? Second, I saw a bunch of stuff on horses lately. Did like horse breeding get easier or something? Did you mention that?
Before it was like,
because I remember I've spent like a solid fucking
oh yeah,
if you look back on some of the old streams on here when we were doing vanilla stuff, I spent a solid fucking, like, I don't even want to try and count how many hours it was breeding horses.
Yeah, it was stupid in the past, or it still is actually, but yeah, now they made horse breeding basically a 50-50 on whether you get a better horse or a worse horse, whereas before it was like the better horse you have, the harder it is to get a better horse.
Yeah.
Which made it really impossible to get the perfect horse, whereas now it's a lot less trivial, which is interesting for me, like a technical player, because Il Mango recently, he made like an insane donkey slash horse breeding setup, which was like mostly automated, and which is really cool to look at. But like the thing is, this should not be a hard feature to, like, this should not be locked behind such a technical thing, because it was like full on like this guy is really good at making farms, and and you need someone like him to even make this feature feasible. But now it's just open to the public pretty much, which is cool. But we've still got even more. Like we've got /execute summon entity.
God.
This is not something that was that adds anything new per se, but it does make certain operations that you do in data packs and commands easier to do. Because sometimes you would want to summon an entity and then do stuff to it, and in the past you would have to like summon the entity and then execute at the entity, which you'd have to do at a separate point, and then like tag them and then go from that tag. Whereas now you can just summon them and then tell it to add a tag, like execute summon entity run tag add s add, and then that would just work. Whereas in the past, again, you need like to execute add. So it's like little things like that. And all of this together is just one. It's just 1.19.4, and everything I've listed just now is all in 1.19. Period. So like that's why I think for data packs and commands, like 1.19 is just the best update, other than its introduction in 1.14. Yeah, it's pretty loaded.
Oh, I timed out.
Can't wait.
You want to send me
And
another
with these
invite?
display entities, yeah, sure. And with these display entities too, like people, it's only been out for a short period and like one snapshot, but people have made insane stuff already. Like they've made custom gravity for this stuff already. They've made there's this game called Superliminal, I think it's called, where it's all about perspective. So you can
Yeah,
like
I
pick an
played it.
object
Have
and
you
then kind of
not
zoom
played it?
out. I played it. It's pretty good.
Do you want to play it
But
through
someone
together
made that
and
in Minecraft.
fucking?
Like someone made this in Minecraft. Like they
I
took like
saw
a
the
stair,
clip of that actually. Now
yeah,
that I think of it. No,
and
but
then
what
they
I was
zoomed
about to
out,
say is
and the
if you
stair was
played the
massive.
game, you want to fucking at some point in the future play the game because it came out with multiplayer, and I don't know if you've played through it like that.
I never finished it. I got like halfway through.
I got like a, most of the way through. I didn't beat the game, but I got mostly through it, and I kind of want to play through it on multiplayer because it's like just the. It's what Portal 2's multiplayer I wish it was. It's just all the original maps, except like
With
there's
another person.
2 of you. And it gets really cursed. Anyways, I'm gonna
Yeah,
actually use
so
this as a
that
quick
wraps that up.
segue to move on to a new topic because we've been talking about
Yeah.
Minecraft things like for a second now.
I mean, I've still got a little more to go on the Minecraft, but
yeah, I
that's
know.
all. I'm done with the update.
So what I want to talk about quickly here before we switch over our gears entirely from Minecraft to anime is, as our last Minecraft topic, how has the community really shaped Minecraft over like the ongoing success, and like what are some notable projects you know of, like things like that? Because Minecraft did have a dry spot for a while and it came back due to the help of a million different reasons. But in that time, there's still communities and projects that were being made in the background that no one really heard
it's
about.
those community projects that are what keep the game alive. Like the game will never die so long as there are people creating for it, and as long as there are people creating for it, other people will stay to play their creations and view them, and then that'll inspire them to make their own. So it's like a self-feeding type thing. That's one of the reasons why it's able to stay alive for so long. But like other than that, because you've got like so many avenues for it. You've got like people who make pixel art, you've got people who make builds, you've got people who make adventure maps, you've got people who just make just survival SMP servers. People play with their friends, people do like comedy skits, even people do modding, people do data packs. Nice job.
This is like 4 times.
Like there's just so many avenues of expression. You've got even mod packs, like making mod packs, combinations of mods. That is in and of itself is a whole art form, pretty much. I don't know about art form, but it's like it's a whole. Well, yeah, it's an art form. Like
Do you
there's just
know
so
of
much,
any like big specific
input.
communities? Because I can name a few, but like I want to hear. Because like my communities that I'd name would be like Build the Earth or
Yeah, you had the people recreating the Earth, like just one to one.
But like, are there any big communities that some people might not have heard of, and like even if they're big, you have to be in like the right community to know of it. Do you know of any specific communities like that? Uh-oh.
Well, you've got the whole mod pack community. Mod pack creators. Dark Hosto is a very popular mod pack creator who's a very like good one at that. You've got the modders themselves, and some of them even work with the mod pack creators to like fine tune their mods so that they can be used well in a mod pack and such. So this adds like interpolation. Is that the right word? It just like adds connectedness between these communities. But then you've also got the datapack creators and the commanders, and the like custom world creators, and these people all just like, because there's so many intricacies in making data packs and stuff with the vanilla systems, because not gonna lie, sometimes they're really jank. Like I had this bug with the pack we're currently playing, which basically was the reason why it wasn't working initially, because there was this bug where basically if you were to drop items, then it would just have like a chance to duplicate them
Yeah,
instead
it
of
was
linking
there
them
when you
properly.
discovered it.
Yeah, like, and so I just so the reason that bug was a thing, it was not because of my code. My code was like perfect, but apparently when you drop an item, there's like a slight desync. Like it's random. It's like a 1 to like 4 ticks or something. And this desync is like, it works fine on the code end, but like visually or in certain aspects of the game, it just doesn't work as well. And so the reason I had this issue at the first was that my detection system for detecting changes wasn't detecting it until a few ticks after. And a tick is 1/20th of a second, by the way, for those who don't know. And so then my pack was basically detecting that there was a change and it was updating one thing before updating another. And that was causing an issue with this dropping thing. But like, that's such a, that's part of the like whole situation of making data packs. Like you just don't know that kind of stuff is there even off the time. Half the time you have to just ask people. You have to be interacting with the community who know it and who can help you, or you just have to figure it out yourself. And like, that's just an example of one way the community like comes together, and that and that's also one of the reasons or examples of how this becomes so interesting with data pack making and all, because oftentimes you'll be relying on some mechanic that wasn't really even intended, or you'll be working around some weird bug that shouldn't even be there. Now there's also the technical community, which I'm not really part of, but I do like to see what they're doing up to. So you got like Ilmango and Rayworks and all these people making like insane farms, just using like in survival. Well, they design them in creative usually, but like these are like the people who are just super familiar with like the redstone mechanics and such, and that's like really interesting because again, like you got like these things which are like packed with bugs. Sometimes like even just a bug becomes what the thing is, like a bug becomes a feature. Interesting stuff like that. And then these people just make whole farms out of them, like they're just automating a game. I'm dead.
We
But
have
yeah,
more
so
than enough
those are
blaze
just
rods.
some
We have
communities.
13. We only have 6 ender pearls though.
Yeah. If you want to keep farming ender pearls, I can go towards the direction of the fortress.
You really just don't like endermen apparently.
Or do you want me to do the enderman and you can go to the fortress?
No, I'm still farming endermen. You can start making your way to the fortress. You'll probably know how to do it better than a builder can. Fuck, on the
Honestly, maybe not.
fucking on the server that I created, the vanilla one that you haven't joined but is currently set up to modded anyways. Fucking, it took us, I want to say like 2 months to get to the end. Not because I threw our sword through the portal. Not because it
Nice
wasn't
job.
allowed, but because like no one was going for it. And the only reason we did in the end is because we got pissed off about not being able to get places fast enough.
Yeah.
And I gave up on horse breeding.
I see. Also, gold ingot, 8 of them in your inventory. So if you see a piglin, drop them in. Yeah. Let me give you some food. But yeah, so I mean, so many possibilities.
Really,
and
there's a
that's just like a
community
small
wherever
corner
it
of the community
seems.
too.
There's a
Like that
community
that is like
wherever
a
as long as
small
you look for
community.
it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, we
Did you
just
break the
don't have a
sword?
sword.
Oh, did you
No,
lose
I
it?
said I threw it through the portal, and then I thought you were gonna grab it.
Well, we've got another now.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of like the sticks and the bones,
Don't
I
want need
guess.
sticks.
Okay, the sticks are back. Okay, they're not. I
Sticks
picked
are
them up
back.
and then you threw them away. Oh no, they're
Make it
back.
a hoe.
Fine.
All right, we're question. Diamond hoe or netherite hoe. Why? Who? Who's using
That's
this?
what we changed this to. Instead of trying to
Give
beat
me
the
the bones.
game, we just
Give me the
fucking
bones.
we just
Give me
try
the
and make a
bones.
netherite hoe.
Give me the bones.
The bones are
Do you not
gone.
have them?
I need
I
the
want
boat. Give me the
Bones.
boat. I'm staring at the Enderman.
Give me the bones.
I am fighting an Enderman.
All right. But yeah, so it's quite something.
Yeah. So let's move on from
Yeah.
ranting about the same communities over and over again, looping in circles, not knowing what we're talking about, to let's instead talk a bit about anime, because that is what I truly think brought us closer together. Which I hate that it did, because you kind of forced. You're laughing because you know that this is the case. You like forced me out of my like. I was a weeb, all right. I was the biggest weeb around for many many years in high school, and then I like got out of it the like middle of grade 11, stopped watching anime almost entirely, and then this motherfucker comes into my life and is like, "Hey, you want to watch
Anime
like
time."
every anime known to man?" I'm like, "All right, sure." Turns out every manga I've read is now an anime, so that's always fun.
Yeah, so where do we start with this?
Let's
get us
start
some
off with
potatoes.
like what got you into anime.
Okay. If I recall, I started anime in like watching anime in like 2017, 2018. I really got into it more in 2018, 2019. Poisonous Potato Lamau.
I was gonna eat it. Why are you farming?
Because potatoes, we had bone meal. Don't worry about it. But yeah, so I started in 2017. That was when I watched my first anime. My first anime, well, if we're not counting like Avatar, which I watched as a kid, a lot earlier.
Doesn't really count.
Yeah, it's not an anime. My first anime might have been Arrow Manga Sensei.
Excuse me?
Arrow Manga Sensei.
I heard you the first time. No, I know what it's about. Why?
Well, for the audience, let's just say it's about this author, this manga author.
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters
she's a
considering
sister
Uro.
and a lolly. And she yeah.
No,
Arrow,
you don't
Arrow
need
stuff.
to explain the like what Arrow Manga Sensei is right now. That's not what I was expecting when I asked you what your first anime was. I was expecting like, yeah, like I watched SAO. I know it's cringe nowadays, but like everyone watches SAO as their first. Like I was expecting some shit like that. Not fucking you to be like, yeah, I watched Arrow Manga Sensei.
Yeah, so the reason for that was I got into anime because initially I would watch these videos and they were like 10 minutes long or something, and they would just be like random like ecchi clips or romance clips from shows, and it would be like just like basically like all the clickbait YouTube view stuff of all like the plot parts, let's say, in anime. And so that stuff got me into anime. And so hence why I watched Arrow Manga Sensei first. Though after that I did watch I think I watched Attack on Titan season 1. I stopped like just at the beginning of season 2, though there wasn't anything really past season 2 at that point. And then after that I watched, I think it was Ruby, which isn't really an anime. It's like I think it's a Western anime.
RWBY is, or Ruby is a
Well, now
show by
it's an
Rooster
anime.
Teeth.
In the past it wasn't, but now it actually is because now it's got a Japanese adaptation. which is like just brand new, like this year. But yeah, and I also watched Shimoneta. That was like one of my other first animes. Which, if you don't know what that is, let me just read out the full name. Shimoneta. A boring world where the concept of dirty jokes doesn't exist.
I know
I
that
think
show.
that,
Where you?
yeah, I
I
think
don't want to
that
talk about that one either. Okay, you
that
watch
explains
a
itself.
very fun type of show.
Yeah, so that pretty much then ties into what type of show I would watch at first when I first got into anime. I would watch ecchi, and holy shit, this is a huge cave. Whoa. I would watch ecchi and romance shows. That was my thing for
Oi,
like,
this little
I
fuck.
don't know, a while. Oh my god. When you get back to the overworld, please go to these coordinates. It's insane. Like,
Okay,
just wow.
will
Oh
keep
my
in
god.
mind.
But yeah, getting back to what I was going on about. So I started being into the romance and the ecchi genre because of all that. But I quickly found out that that wasn't very interesting, because a lot of shows that are like romance and anime, generally speaking, aren't very good. Um, they're not very good.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fair.
they, as in all right, that's an understatement, or that's not exactly what I mean. They're not, it's not, they're not very good. They're just all, it's like they're all like teasing. Like, they don't really go anywhere. Nothing really happens. Like, maybe they end up holding hands or kissing or like confessing, right? Like, nothing happens. It's dull. And then in the ecchi thing, it'll be like all the ecchi stuff will happen, but they still won't even be in a relationship. And so I didn't stay interested in that stuff all that long.
You're fucking kidding. I've been.
Why are you fighting places?
I'm not. A blaze came out of nowhere.
Okay, fire protection helmet. Be funny if I put cursive binding boots on us.
You fucking. You say that as I open my inventory.
Yes. So yeah, and then after that, I went. Oh, my headphones died. One moment. I guess I can keep talking when
Yeah,
they're
you
off.
probably can.
And after that, I went to focusing more on. Well, I looked more into some of the classic shows, as well as the seasonal shows. Such being like, I don't know, Haruhi Suzumiya, and then like whatever was airing around that time, probably isekai stuff. And then a bit later, I got more into the isekai genre, and that's kind of like my go-to trash genre now. It's my comfort food. But at this point, I enjoy more just like action, mystery, comedy, and then also, of course, just isekai like type things, so fantasy too. And there's a lot of those nowadays. Like, the trend started and it never stopped. But if there's romance and ecchi along with those genres, then I'm all down for it. It's just the icing on top of the cake. Why do you have another core? Oh, you're trading, I see. So yeah, that's what I'm into, generally speaking. I'm gonna throw an eye vendor because I don't think I've done that. Okay, it's this direction.
I just want bundles to actually be properly added.
Yeah, they're one of those experimental features alongside 1.20.
It's sad, but whatever.
Yeah.
Moving on, let's talk a little bit about. Are you crafting those nuggets right now, or what are you?
Yeah,
doing?
I am.
Yeah, you are. Let's move
Also,
on
did
to.
you throw out feathers? I've been collecting feathers. Did you throw that out?
Yeah, I did.
If you still got them, I want them. Yeah, okay.
There's one.
And string. I want string.
We don't have the fucking inventory space.
Yeah, no, don't worry. This is always how it is.
No wonder. No wonder you're like, you know what? This is a great idea.
Oh no, wait, sorry. This is not always how it is with me. This is always how it is when playing this pack. There's a distinction to be made, and you threw out the flint too. I'd like that. Thank you.
I see what you're trying to do now. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and,
So
you
we
threw out the
talked.
glowstone.
Okay,
Oh, no, you
I'm.
didn't. Okay, there you go.
Why do you want glowstone?
It doubles your arrows actually. If you craft spectral arrows, you get double the output, and it
You can
requires
craft
glowstone only.
spectral arrows?
Yeah, it doubles the output.
Jesus Christ,
so...
I've been playing this game for over a decade, and I learned that.
Anyways,
now we've talked a bit about like how you started watching anime, how your taste has changed over the years, which is very different from mine, because like I got in, I do, but I'm using it. I don't need obsidian. Like it started off with, are you taking my boat now?
There's an Enderman.
Oh, I see. It started off with.
Is the boat gone, or did you use it?
No, you have it. It's in the inventory.
Oh, it's gone. Wait, what do you mean?
Oh, it's gone.
Oh, okay. I guess we're getting another one.
Oh.
All right,
Yeah, so it started off, like for me, it was very different from you, because apparently you started off just in the entire deep end. I started off very much like normal weebs do, you know, with like SAO and like action shows. I specifically started off with Seven Deadly Sins. I made you watch through that over the course of like a year because I was being a bitch. Did you make the boat yet?
No, I'm making it right now.
I have 5 Endermen near me. Make a fucking boat.
I have 1. Let me make a boat. Ah, fuck you. Okay, I'm making another one. I hate that you can't make a boat out of netherwood planks. Why?
Yes.
Why is that still not a thing?
Can I get rid of water breathing? Water breathing we don't need.
No, we need that. I want
Gone.
that. Dolphins. Oh.
Well, it's gone. You can suffer like me.
Yes, I will.
This Enderman is breakdancing on my boat instead of getting in it. I am actually going to rage. I'm dead. I'm just dead. I am just dead. Okay, so I started off with like action and all that, and I started off with what I'd say would be normal weeb, standard experience. Normal. My tastes over the years changed because like when I got into anime, I really just wanted to watch the action shows, and I wanted to watch basically your standard isekai trash. But then like where I was at my like peak weeb phase, that didn't exist. So I switched over to manga, and I'll still read a lot of manga today in my pastime, but like it's either that is what I'll do on my phone, or I don't know, I'll watch YouTube on my phone. I don't really use my phone for anything else. So
fair.
That's kind of been me, which is very opposite of you. But moving on from just our experiences and where that came from, what's your favorite series? Because I think mine, even after watching it, like, I still will probably have to go with Seven Deadly Sins. Just because I love, like, the late seasons sucked ass. I will bitch and moan about it all day long. You know this. But, like, the manga was so good for so long. The sequel manga, from the parts I've looked at and I've read, have also been really good. But, like...
We get it. You're a Seven Deadly Sims simp.
Yeah. I'm one of the 7 Deadly Simps.
7 Deadly Simp.
We have 12 pearls. I might get, like... Or 12 eyes. I might get, like, 2 more, just to be safe.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Just, you V-line it for the fucking portal.
I am running away.
He's perusing, taking his slow-ass time.
Yeah, I am taking my time, actually. I was shearing some sheep and killing some chicks.
We have 58 white wool. You don't need to shear sheep.
Beds.
How many fucking beds are you expecting us to use?
How many bitches you want to get?
Fair enough. Fuck bitches make money. So what was your favorite anime series?
I've got a few.
Let's.
I can't just settle on one. But it's not too many. It is only a few.
I mean, like, you
Um,
showed me what I thought was your all-time favorite.
yeah. I did, and I still will probably, like, if I had to choose one, that's probably the one I'd choose. And without beating the
So
bush any
talk
longer,
about that one.
yeah, that one, Zenki no Terror. This is Terror in Residence, the English name. Good show. Let me just put stuff over my head so I don't phantoms. Yeah, so Zenki no Terror, my favorite show. It's a good mixture of like action and mystery, with a little bit of romance and a bit of comedy. But mostly like mystery action type thing. It's about these kids who how do I say it? They're terrorists. um, but they keep
Terrorism, the
living
anime.
they keep living clues as to their activities, giving them directly to the police. And they're like really like they're just always like one step ahead. And so it's like about what are they up to? Will the police be able to get to them? Will they solve their riddles? And yeah, it's a short show, 11 episodes, and they're not like they're 20-minute episodes, 22-minute episodes, so slightly shorter than normal. It's like a 4-hour anime. Would recommend. It's like 10 out of 10 for me. One of my few. I've only got 4. Some other of my favorite shows. Inuyashiki. This is Inuyashiki, not to be confused with Inuyasha, is a show about a old man who is kind of depressed. Everything's going wrong in his life. He's in his like 40s or 50s, and he gets diagnosed with I think cancer. Doesn't have much longer left. And then he runs away out into a field and gets turned into a fucking robot by aliens.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah,
I've seen clips of this.
And this show is really good. I don't know how to describe it. It's maybe like a combination of like Death Note, but also like mecha kind of, but they're not mecha because they're just like they're still human sized. And they still look like humans on the outside until they like come apart. And it's like an action comedy, I guess. Not comedy. No, it's not a comedy. It's an action, pretty much. And it's like a drama between the characters and then also like the main 2 characters, because you've got a kind of dichotomy between these 2 people, 2 main characters. The old man's the main one, and then you got another one which is like a younger kid. Yeah, so that's also a pretty good show, and it's not too long either. I think it's like 12 episodes. There is CGI in it. It's bearable. You get used to it. Like it's not bad. And banger as fuck opening. Another favorite show of mine would be Arifureta.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about no. I
This
introduced
is
you to
my
Arifureta because it was one of those
yeah.
like trash
My favorite isekai
isekai
trash, and it's not trash to me.
It was, yeah, but still, I could say Sword Art Online isn't trash to me, but like, fuck, it
No, you
still
can't.
is.
No, this is better than SAO.
Yeah, I've read the like first 6 light novels of SAO.
Yeah,
Watched
I've
the anime
rewatched the
14
show. I've
times.
watched this.
Like,
No, you haven't. I've watched it 14 times.
no,
Oh,
I'm
for
talking
SAO,
about
you mean?
SAO.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you watched fucking Arifureta.
Yeah, I've watched
You were
Arifureta,
trying
like,
to catch up to how many
11
times I
times.
watched SAO. That was what it was.
Yeah. But yeah, so I've this show Arifureta. It's you may know
Excuse
it
me.
as a show that was adapted, I think, in like 2019. Having like super shitty CGI and just being super shitty overall. And I can say it did not get the best adaptation. But if you enjoy the adaptation even somewhat, then you would definitely like the source material. Because it still does carry with it some of its charm into the anime. if you can get used to the really shit CGI and the weird way they adapted it, because they just like skip like a whole bunch of stuff in the beginning, which is kind of necessary, and also just like it got a abhorrent adaptation. One entire volume got turned into 2 fucking episodes. Like I think they adapted like 4 volumes or something and stupid in the first season alone. Um, and they scaled it back in the second season. The second season's better in terms of faithfulness adaptation, but it's also just like a drier adaptation. Like they kind of missed the excitement, which they kind of had in the first season, to be honest. Um, like it's just yeah. But the show is a isekai, where this man's
Yeah.
whole class gets isekai'd. From my understanding, it's quite popular in Japan, I think. And so this guy basically like his entire class gets like hero type like above average stats, whereas he just gets like literally the average most average stats. His only special thing
And then
being like a
he
1 out of
becomes
20 or 1
God.
out of 100. Yeah. And then he basically gets outcast by his class, ends up falling to the bottom of the dungeon, somehow barely survives after a gruesome attack, and getting really lucky and finding a healing orb.
Your
So to speak.
stereotypical isekai, basically. So,
Not exactly, but
weakest
the
guy gets
difference,
reincarnated, still
the
weak,
difference
becomes
is
OP. That is a lot of standard isekai
the
now.
difference is though he doesn't give a shit about like anyone or anything unless they become like precious to him, so to speak. Like in any of the other guy you'd have that same thing, but then like he'd go off and like, oh well, let's save the world. But no, this guy, he just wants to go home. And then like he'll eventually like stumble across like a girl, and then he'll decide to take her with him. And then it starts to develop a harem, but he doesn't want the harem. Now this isn't so apparent in the anime, but like in the light novel, it's clear he does not want a harem. Like his girlfriend is pushing the harem on him, not him. But like yeah, he just doesn't give a shit. Like he kills people just outright.
Murder.
And now of course that's skipped over in the anime because no, skipped over, I mean like the initial killing. But yeah, so it's quite it's on the surface level appears like just dog shit, but it does have its uniqueness, and is quite good and charming.
But so does dog shit. You never know what that dog ate until you look into it. So, like, you know.
Yeah.
We have
and
more than
also
enough
has-
arrows now, by the way. I'm not fucking...
Oh yeah, we're good. Well, I'm just gonna craft. Give me the flint. I'll craft them, and then we'll be done.
I already did all that.
Oh, you did that? Okay, cool.
Yes. We have over a stack of arrows because of that.
Okay, we're good then. We don't need feathers anymore then.
I was just
I
like...
guess I'll smell some food.
Oh,
Are
I
you
have
running? You
that
smell
done
some
as
food.
well. I've been doing everything waiting for you to just find the coordinates.
I think I passed the.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
focus.
honest. I don't know where the portal is.
Yeah, I think I passed it. I'm going back. But yeah, so, yeah, I mean, it's hard to recommend to people, but I mean, I've forced people to watch it, and generally they've enjoyed it. But it's not for everyone, for sure. Other than that, some other favorites of mine. This is not a favorite show of mine generally, but it is like my favorite top of all time comedy show. It's called Hinamatsuri. And like this show had me fucking rolling on the ground, like unable to breathe laughing. Specifically one character in it, but I'll get to that. I mean, that character, I think, what's her name?
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Oh no, I have her name. It's Hitomi Mishima, I think. And dude, her whole like deal, like situation, like the funniest bit I've ever had seen. Like that shit was so good. But that show as a whole is just a great comedy. It's about like this girl alien, I guess, who gets dropped in on this other guy who is a mafia member, and he likes fine art, and she doesn't. She controls like messes with gravity and stuff, and then destroys a bunch of it. And that's like the opening gimmick. But there's like a whole litany of other gimmicks that there are in the show, and they're all great, at least to my sense of humor. And a lot of people tend to enjoy it too. I think it has a high rating, but I don't often hear people talking about it. And then the last one of my favorite shows, I would say, um, would be some like other ones that are pretty popular. So I'm not going to talk much about them, but like Your Name, it's like one of the best-selling anime movies. I think is.
Yeah, of
I
course,
don't
of
know. Don't
course.
quote me on that. And
Your
then you've
Name's a
got
good
like
movie.
yeah. It's a good. I think
We could
what do you
talk
call it? A
about things
romance
like that forever,
mystery.
though. Like, Your
Yeah,
Name
for
was
sure.
really good. Then
One
there
Punch
was,
Man. One
I
Punch
was gonna go
Man.
on different things.
JoJo's
I was gonna
Bizarre
say Silent
Adventures.
Boys, like
Oh yeah.
whatever.
The movie Silent Boys too. Yeah. But like I was also gonna say like JoJo's
I didn't like
one of my
JoJo's.
favorite series. I know you didn't. Shut up. You're bad. But then also got stuff like One Punch Man. Like it's just very good, or Mob Psycho.
Yeah.
And those I
So
would consider like the
let's
ones I
quickly
enjoy.
move on from this
Oh,
because
I've got
million
I've got
shows.
two others,
No, we're
which are
moving
like
on
my
because we're a million
no.
shows. I
So
wanted
there's
to.
these two
Okay,
sets that
whatever.
kind of fit together. They're isekais. You got the slime
Okay.
isekai, reincarnated as a
Yeah.
slime.
Yeah.
I've read the light novel for this one, and it's just super hype, especially at the climax of the most recent season. Um, but then you've also got Kumadesuga Nanika, which is Soma Spider So What, which this show I have such mixed feelings about it, yet it keeps like
I
attracting me
like the
back. I don't
manga.
know why. I can't stop. But basically like it's this show where it follows another classroom that gets reincarnated and in
They
another world.
become spider, and we don't need to
One of
explain
them
it.
becomes
We do
Spider,
not
and
need
one of
to
them
fully
becomes the
explain
hero
this
party.
one.
Um, but yeah, like this show really annoys me for completely different reasons than the light novel does. But they
Yeah.
both, like the world and the characters, just like quite interesting and just retains my interest.
So
Annoyingly.
I
So
want to move on from your favorite show to what do you
yeah,
think is the most overrated and the most underrated moments in anime?
moments in anime. Oh, you mean
Mm-hmm.
shows?
No, moments or scenes. Like,
You mean like the most memorable?
well, yeah, what's the most memorable or like overrated and underrated scenes? What's like the
Mhm.
I don't know how to explain this better to
Okay.
you.
All right. Yeah. So I would say, well, stuff that stuck out to me at least. A lot of it is from some of my favorite shows, but some of it isn't too, or is from stuff that I liked, but isn't really my favorites. Stuff that stuck out to me. You had stuff like the end of Zenki no Terror and Inuyashiki, which just both phenomenal ends. I don't want to spoil them, so I'm not going to say anything about them. But just like the build up and the climax is just so good. And some of it you don't even see the it coming, so it just hits you hard. Then of course you have that character, like every bit with that character from Hinamatsuri, like Hitomi Mishima, like so good. Like that one bit alone would have kept me going, let alone the rest of the show. But then you also had like the ending, or not the ending, but like one of the scenes in towards the end of Arifureta, in the light novel, which is in
It's a light
volume
novel.
11. Yeah, in volume
Yeah, fair
11.
enough.
That scene hit me hard.
Is there any scene you can actually describe? You know, instead of just being like,
uh,
I like that
yeah,
scene at
yeah,
the
okay.
end of that show. Like, oh, what?
Well, the
What
thing is,
scene?
yeah, no, I don't watch many like orgasmic fight type shows. Or if I do, I'm like,
Mm,
that's a cool fight, but like, I'm not memorizing the fight, or that's not what's
well,
memorable about
yeah.
it to me. So it's hard to like talk about it without spoiling. I can talk about like, I can say like,
I mean,
just
we
like the
watched
whole clan after story part.
God of
Like
High
that was
School
just
was a good
amazing.
orgasmic like fight show, but beside of
Yeah,
that,
but
it
that
was
show
just
was kind
bad.
of shit, like in
It
terms of
was
how it was
bad.
presented, aside from the
Like,
fights.
I wish it wasn't, because like, trust me, web novels are like so much better. The webtoon's so good, but like, it's rough, that anime, and it was hyped up for years. Sad, but whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really have any like defining moments that I can share that aren't like climaxes of shows or spoilers. Sadly.
Mm.
Um. So yeah.
Is our
But
hunger
speaking
link?
of,
Is our
no.
hunger link? No, okay. I just have not been getting that hungry.
Yeah. Um. Speaking of, in a similar vein, we have like underrated and overrated stuff. I think you were mentioning
Hmm.
something like that.
Yeah. What is a underrated moment, which would be your favorite moment in an anime or whatever, and what would an overrated moment or a moment you think that everyone likes but is just kind of like, eh.
Well, if it was overrated, I didn't remember it.
Well, are there
So
any like you've watched a lot of big name animes, like you've watched JoJo's and all that. Are there any moments from some of those
found
shows
the
that
fortress.
like,
I just threw 3 pearls. I'm so sorry. One of them probably broke. Nope, they also. Oh, one broke. Yeah.
well, it doesn't
Um,
matter because we had 13 pearls, so.
if you want to come to, did you go to those coordinates I sent you by the way in the chat?
Oh no,
Because
but I probably should.
go to
What was
those.
it?
Go the fuck to those. Those are
800,
insane.
124,
Yeah, I go to those.
865,
Um,
124.
but yeah, so shows though in general, I can talk about like underrated and overrated shows as a whole. Of course, there's the ones that I mentioned, which are generally speaking not very well known, so they all count for my interpretation of the
Underrated.
underrated stuff. But other than that, we also have oh, it went down. Cool. The pro one down. So I'm gonna update those cords up in the chat. 7:30. Okay. I don't know if the pearl's coming
Oh,
back to us
geez.
though. Oh, there it is. I should
Wow.
probably put a bed up here actually.
That a big pit. I'll go get
Yeah, yeah,
the
dude,
red
that's
pit.
insane, isn't it?
You
Do you
know,
see what
we're
I'm
so
saying?
close to beating the game, but we're also like running. This is going to be the longest podcast because at this point, I'm committed to beating the game.
Oh no, we're so close. It's gonna be easy shit.
No, yeah, but we're also 11 minutes over, or like we're normally I like to run these podcasts at a max of an hour and a half. We're at an hour and 12, so we're gonna see how this goes.
All right. So some of these underrated and overrated stuff. These shows. Um, I guess I'll just start with what I think is overrated. Um, Ghibli. I think Ghibli's
You don't
overrated.
like Ghibli? That's a hot
I
take.
like Ghibli, like, but like I'm not giving it an 8. Like I'm giving it 7s and 6s on the ones that are like the most popular. Because just Ghibli to me is like kind of like Disney. Like they're good, they're cool, but like they're just not that good.
Mm.
And so I just think they're kind of overrated.
You
Mid
see,
take, I guess.
my take for an overrated show is JoJo's. I did not like JoJo's like at all. I don't know why it's so popular. I gave it like I wouldn't, it would have been a show that I wouldn't have finished.
Yeah, we kept you through for a while.
Um
But some other
yeah.
over with it. Well, on that same vein, I think an overrated show is Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh, it is. I'm willing to admit that. The first season was great. It goes straight downhill. The manga. Ooh, the manga is what got me
No,
through
the
that
first
show.
season too. But
Fair
yeah,
enough.
so some other thing. Oh, I found the fortress. It's not. I always call it a fortress. Creeper. Okay, so what else? I would say that um
You have a
another
underrated
popular
show.
one.
Or
Another
actually, no,
popular
let's
one.
continue dissing
Another
popular
overrated
ones.
one. Tokyo Ghoul.
Uh,
Kind of mid.
yeah.
Kind of
Well,
mid.
the thing is Tokyo Ghoul, from what I've seen, is drastically better in the form of the manga because I haven't read the manga yet. I plan
I've
to
heard
maybe
that,
one
but
day.
they all say
But
that.
the
So.
issue is the fact that Tokyo Ghoul's sequel is
Oh,
like
it's just
completely
it's
new
worse.
content.
It's worse. So.
It's all new content. It's not even in
Wait,
the actual fucking anime.
sequel or second season?
Second season, like the original
Are you
second
sure? Like
season.
A Route A or the original second season? Is is it really?
I think it's Route
Okay, yeah,
A.
because I thought Route A was worse.
The one where he had white hair and black hair, that is the actual second season. That is what's
Oh,
canon.
bruh.
The Route
But
A
yeah,
isn't even fucking canon.
I didn't even watch that second part because it was
So
like a
that's
different
why,
cast and stuff.
yeah, it's weird. It came out a lot later, and like, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, I'm willing to agree with you that like it's not the greatest. I cosplayed Tokyo Ghoul. That was the only thing I've ever cosplayed, but like there's a lot of
Wait,
little
who'd you
things that-
cosplay?
the main
Cosplay the main
character.
character? Okay.
What else would I have cosplayed? You kidding?
I don't know, like the girl.
You know what? I will show up to your grad cosplayed as the girl from Tokyo Ghoul. How about that?
Perfect. But yeah,
Perfect
overrated
as all
show.
things should be. Yeah.
Also, I
overrated
just
show.
found iron boots and and head thing, which are exactly what we're missing. Also, we can't take off our boots.
Yeah,
Fuck.
you doubt it. You're regretting that now?
No, because I'll just kill you a few times. That'll take care of that. But anyways, I'm lost in this maze of a fortress, so I'm gonna just keep rambling. Other underrated, overrated stuff. Your lie and boredom.
Your
This show
Lion April.
was
You found
boring.
that overrated. I gave that a 10 out of 10 as like
Yeah,
my
I
favorite
gave this a
romance.
6. It was.
It's my
predictable.
favorite romance show, but yeah, fair enough. It is
Romance?
predictable.
Okay. Yeah, but
It's a
it's just
romance
not.
show. What do you mean?
I mean, yeah, it's a romance show, but like,
Want to give me the exact
like-
coordinates
like-
of the eye room?
why?
Preferably
You
not,
have them?
so I can dig straight down.
I don't have them. I'm
You found the
very
fucking.
bad at.
Oh wait,
I'm
yeah,
very.
you're at
I'm
I
so
Spy.
bad at finding these rooms. I don't know how I'm this bad at finding them.
I want to know where you dug straight down.
Just go to those
20,
coordinates I
730.
sent. There's like a crafting table near him. I think it was that coordinates.
No, go.
But yeah, so another show that I think is overrated. SAO, but like everyone says that who has been in the anime world for more than 5 minutes. Like sure, I agree, it's a good introduction show and it's pretty hype if you haven't consumed much of the medium, but if you have, then it's kind of mid. I don't know.
I don't want to
It's
talk
like,
about that.
okay. Nice job. Then there's some things that I think are really overrated, but they're also just like hotly contended as to whether they're good or not. Fooly Cooley and Dead Leaves, and shows similar to them. Why? They're not good. Stop fooling yourself. Like, I know you think they're like artistic masterpieces, and maybe they are to you, but they're just objectively not good. Why did you get rid of the shield? That's a terribly bad
I
idea.
want
Just
torches.
put them in your main hand then.
Fair enough.
Shield goes offhand.
I this is the worst thing about doing something like this with you. We have very drastically different play styles.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
I
don't worry
might have found. No, it's just another torch. I hate when the portal room is sometimes like obscured behind blocks. That's the stupidest thing, because it might be the case too, because I see like stuff overlapping here and
Found a
there.
library. There's protection 4.
Oh, you're in a new area I haven't been to, so that's good. But yeah, what else we got? I would say that Kakegurui, the
That was a
Netflix
good
gambling
show.
show. I thought it was kind of mid. Like
Fair
it wasn't
enough.
bad, but it was just kind of
I
mid.
think I also gave it a mid, but
People
like it
love
was
that.
still
but, like I give it
decent.
like a 6. Like it was not bad, but it was just not that much. It
Oh!
was not that good. You found
There's
it?
like 8 creepers here.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, I did find
but
it.
Yeah. You son of a! I swear, I'm never able to find this room. All right, Give me your chords.
Give me a minute. Let me die to this
Sure.
silverfish.
Sure.
I
Other things.
screenshotted 2020 783.
I think Ava is overrated, but I understand that Ava is like one of those shows that you need to be in the right mindset to really enjoy it. Like I think you need to be like more in a maybe I don't know, maybe depressed. I don't know. I haven't been in those sorts of mindsets generally speaking, so at least not when I watched it for sure. And so I thought it was just all right, but nothing like everyone says it is. What else? Yeah, so those are some of those shows I think are overrated. Why? Why do you have a potion in your offhand? You're not even in the nether.
I was
I think I see
struggling. All right. Sometimes I forget our inventories are linked, and then like I'll hold something in a weird way. And yeah, I'm like, wait, am I streaming? And are you watching my stream? What's going on? So let's talk about
What about underrated shows? Also, we're making a bed, and I'm gonna kill you a few times.
For underrated shows, I want to why the fuck?
Huh?
I'm not going to. Okay, I'm glad I'm not streaming, but this is going to be in a recording, so that's a thing. Fuck me! I actually just did that. I made a bed upside down.
Nice. All right. Reset your spawn. All right. All right. Actually. We're doing this to get rid of the boots, by the way. Curse of binding.
Binding of burst.
All right, I'm gonna kill you now, so don't. Oh, okay. Well, I guess not.
Oh,
right,
I'm holding a sword.
All right, we're done. We're done. Let's put the armor back on. The boots.
Yeah.
All right, we got them on. Cool. All right. Underrated shows though, and let's save the dragon.
I was gonna say Hatsurobu no Mori.
Oh yeah. I thought about mentioning that.
I'm opening up Mal right now.
Maru or something is like with the forest and this guy.
Yeah, literally my like one of my favorite shows, my favorite movie of all time. Why the fuck is that in my favorites? What is this show? What is I Dream of Mimi, and why is this in my favorite shows?
Don't worry about that. That's one of the things that's unrated.
Okay. Anyways. Fuck, I can't even. Yeah. Hatarabu no Mori or Into the Forest of Fireflies Light. That was a very underrated show.
Very good.
Very, very, very good. I also have a few other like weird underrated shows that I liked, but like don't watch. Like I really liked Problem Children Are Coming from Another World, aren't they? Don't watch it. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Like I think you might remember that show.
I do.
Because I recommended it to you like
I don't
way
put the portal
long
in
ago.
yet. Let's wait till we finish the discussion.
Yeah. But
okay.
you know, that was like the main one. And if anyone were to ask, like, hey, yeah, we should go watch a show, that's gonna be the one I'm going to recommend to everyone.
Yeah, pretty much.
We have 15 possible beds.
Cool. Just enough.
Yep, I'm only going to make this many. I'm leaving the rest of the wool and
no, we're taking it. We're taking it with us in. All right. So yeah, underrated shows. So Dr. Stone. That's a really fucking good show. But
I don't think it's underrated.
I don't think it's underrated, but it is underhyped. Like whenever I think of Dr. Stone, I'm like, wow, that's a good show, but I have no incentive to watch it. Like I'm not at all interested or excited to watch it. I'll watch that eventually. Or I'm talking about season 2 because I've only watched season 1. But like all the time, it's just like it's not really talked about. And it's not like hype or anything, but it's just so good. Kokoku is another show. Kokoku is about this one moment, because the entire show happens in this one moment in
No,
time.
they're my
Time
friends.
freezes. Time freezes, and the entire anime happens in this one moment. It's like family. I think trying to get through it or resume time or something like that. It was a while since I watched it, but it was pretty good and has a banger OP. And it's definitely not talked about very much. Another underrated show. Underrated also, I mean like underrated slash niche slash lesser known. You got the show called Tanari no Seki-kun, which is about this kid Seki, I think.
Is this the
in school.
disastrous life of Psyche K?
No, it's not. So this kid in school, it follows this girl in class, and there's this boy who sits next to her, and all the time he just does these really random things, but like he's really into them, like really enthusiastic about them, and she's just really distracted by him. That's the entire show, but it's a really good show. It's like a comedy, I guess. And he just finds like the wackiest thing. Like one time he's just polishing his desk. Like he's going all out. Like he's brought the entire polishing kit. Like he's got wood polish. Like he finishes and you can see his reflection in it. And she just can't focus. Like this is like she's like, well, what is he doing now? What's he gonna do next? And it's just such a good, cute little show. In the same vein, you've got Tanaka-kun is always listless. Self-explanatory. Kid Tanaka-kun, he's just pretty listless. He just kind of sleeps. He's kind of fluffy in terms of his like demeanor, or maybe not fluffy, but like just kind of airy.
I know this one.
He doesn't really care much.
The one
about
show that
stuff.
you showed me that I really
decent
liked
comedy.
was I really enjoyed the show Tonikawa Over the Moon or something like that.
Yeah. That was
That was a
a
good
nice.
romance.
That was a good romance. Yeah, or rom-com. Which I read the thing too, and that's pretty underrated. What other stuff we got? If you want a good like a good romance ecchi comedy, and I'm stressing the ecchi and the comedy because this is a good comedy, but it's also a good ecchi. Is Why the Hell Are You Here, Teacher? If you want those genres, it's a good one. That's all I can say.
All right.
Got Usagi Drop.
I'd say instead of that, let's actually just
you
will talk about every single one of your animes for the next hour.
There's only a few more.
Rorik, it's been an hour and a half. We need to. I'm sorry,
Chi. This girl.
Okay.
And it's just really wholesome. I hear it gets weird in the manga after the anime, but it's pretty wholesome and like just nice, like family type thing in the show. Usagi Drop or Bunny Drop.
Fun fact, this might be the first time
have
that I've done
Shadow's House.
It's definitely not, but it's probably
Shadow's
close.
House is an interesting mystery that aired recently-ish.
I'm gonna go through
these children who have like the same who have these like shadows, but they're shadowing the shadows, so to speak. And by shadows I mean like people who look like them but are just entirely like Vanta Black, like just entirely like shadow. There's no light. It's a pretty good mystery drama, I get, type thing. And then last few we got Mafia.
No more last few.
Bad movie.
How many of these did you write down? I know. Okay, before we started the podcast, no, pause this. Before we started the podcast, Rorik says to me, "Yeah, I wrote down a small list of things for a description." You, yeah, you're right. You didn't say small. You said it took you over an hour to write it all down. I now know why it took you over an hour to write it all down. You were waiting for this one. You've been waiting.
So we've got Patama Inverted.
Oh
This is
no.
another not very well known movie.
Yeah, this was a good
It's
one.
about two peoples in a world who one of them is on the ceiling. Their gravity is inverted. And it's like a drama with a bit of romance between them, and two of them interacting with each other and trying to like figure out what's going on and why there's so much discrimination between the two.
And then there's like an M.
There's
Night
also
Shyamalan level twist at the end.
yeah, for sure. It's very good. It's another moment that I would say is memorable. Another I would say is underrated is Rust Eater Bisco. If you look at the trailer, that's all you should need to know. It's really good. The ending I didn't like at all, but I hear that that ending is pretty standard for like what would you say it was? What'd you say type of show that was standard for?
I don't remember what
Um,
show this is. Give me a minute.
Rust Eater Bisco, the guy who rides the crabs and shit, the mushrooms.
What was the ending?
Um, you said it was very shonen like, I think. Um,
Oh, probably. Can you explain the ending to me so I can actually give
yes. Well,
commentation on this?
no, because I don't want to spoil, but like people die and then like come back from the dead with stupid reasons that I
Oh
thought were
yeah,
stupid. Like
that's
when it wasn't
pretty
really
shonen.
necessary either, and it also like went like really ballistic near the end. But it was pretty.
Whoa!
It was just
I
a
didn't mean to do that.
it was just a good overall show. And then going on to my last one, I guess, if you want just like a not very well known but pretty solid romance show, and like just romance pretty much, maybe a bit of comedy, because typically romance just does comedy because what else is it gonna do? Um, is called
Yeah,
Mystery
honestly.
Girlfriend X. Mystery Girlfriend X. Uh, there's not much to say about it. It's just interesting, and unique. Very good description, I understand. That I'm giving, but not too much I can say about it.
And
It's
that's
like
all I have to say about that.
it's not very well known, and it's a unique thing. I mean, if you check out the page, it's an older style of animation or drawing, which may appeal to some more than others. Um, but I remember liking it pretty well. Just as a romance show, which is not usually why you like the romance show. The girl's pretty like quirky, I guess you could say, which makes it, which lends to as to why it's generally better than a typical anime romance, I guess. Um, because like she actually advances stuff,
Hmm.
unlike the normal anime romance, which just doesn't.
Do you want to
But yeah,
try and bed cycle this?
yeah, I'm gonna do that, but I want to kill the stuff first. So
Well, I'm working on
um,
that. You can set up the bed cycle for when it perches.
I literally just placed one block and set up, so and I can't be around the area, otherwise he'll do what he just did. So, or she, I guess.
He, she, they, it, them.
You're gonna have to pass me the beds though. That's gonna be your job. The dragon is Jean. That's her name.
What? Biblically accurate dragon name? I don't know.
Yep,
Okay,
pretty much.
so moving on to a final topic that we can talk
Also, like,
about.
of course, the last underrated ones are like all the ones I mentioned as my favorites, because yeah.
Yeah. But moving on to a final anime topic we can do, just kind of to wrap up the podcast, as well
Yeah.
as fight a dragon. You know how it be. Let's
It's
talk a bit about um why, like, let's talk about anime like culture and like why do you think it's so big where like in the Western hemisphere now? um like in the West, why is anime big? Oh, okay, you already destroyed the fucking thing up here. I
oh,
don't
did
I
I? Oh,
don't
okay, good shot.
know. What was the exact one? How do you think anime has impacted popular culture, and and why do you think it's gained such a large and devoted following around the world?
I mean, it's just like such a unique form of expression. With the animation and all. It's like there's just so many different ways. I mean, you can make all sorts of like the thing is with Western media, like you generally see like a bunch of similar styles, but with anime, it's all Like there's so many unique ones. Of course, there's the standard ones too. But you've also got all the unique ones. You got like Made in Abyss is completely different from your standard romance, which is completely different from ecchi hentai, because for some reason that it has like its own style, which is slightly different too. You've got your standard, well, not your non-standard, like more 90s stuff, and they all have their own feel to them. And then you've got all your like sound design and music that you can add into. You got the openings that hype you up, and then like the standard, the like shows releasing on their weekly schedule. Watch out.
I had half a
Why
heart.
isn't this fucker perched? I don't understand. But yeah, like there's just a lot of factors. But it certainly has made its way onto the scene.
I tend to view a lot of it being like, if you look at adult comedy or like adult entertainment right now, it's a lot of animation.
Oh, it's perching.
Right?
Perching. You need to feed me beds. Just feed them into my third slot.
But it is a lot of ooh.
Come on. On one more.
Really? Nope. That's it. That's all the beds we have.
Oh my god, you killed me. I'm dead. He was so close. Gee.
Can't even, like, it has like 1 health.
Yeah, go get the last hit. Come on. You got this.
I can't. I am not close enough. Oh, I'm dead.
Bow him down. Bow him down.
I can't even hit it with the bow. It's like bouncing. That was disappointing. All right. I am severely disappointed in myself as a gamer. Yeah, no, but
Dead.
To me, to me, a lot of the like thought of why anime is, I was in the end. Thank you for teleporting that. A lot of the reason why anime is so like popular right now is just because like it's a form of cartoon expression that you can't really, and like a form of media that you can't really get the same things out of. Like if you want to go and watch a action show where a guy's arm stretches, can't really do that in real life.
Yeah, no.
And it's not really something you're going to be able to find. Yeah, it's a very unique, like, detaching show. So.
And like other things about in that like sense. Oh, you son of a bitch. Can you not put water where the egg is?
I just don't want to deal with them.
Torches, man. Egg.
Slabs. Checkmate.
Fuck you. Let's get good. There we go. Pogger, we got the egg. Let's go. But yeah, so wasn't there something?
I didn't want to do this. I need to end the podcast in a certain way. It's not ending like this.
Was there anything else that you wanted to ask?
No, that was about it. Is there something you want me to ask?
Perhaps.
All right. Just what was the thing you want to talk about as the last thing?
So what did you think about Butobi CPU?
What does that mean?
Butobi CPU, also known as I Dream of Mimi. Definitely not a hentai.
No, it wasn't.
Definitely not.
That show wasn't.
It's just about a guy in a computer club getting his new computer.
I don't ever want to think about it again, though. So you're bringing up memories that I blocked out, and I don't know why it's in my favorited list, but it is.
Honestly, underrated show.
Very underrated. Very, very underrated.
All right.
Is there something in your big document that you want to mention before? The floor is yours. Any last topics? You really just wanted to shout out Mimi. All right. As the end of the show, is there any specific place where people can find your packs or your creations.
Yeah. So unlike other people,
I wanted to
rational
sit through
people
that.
who put them on Planet Minecraft or on places like Datapack Center, which is actually my preferred website. I just keep them on my Discord. All the downloads are in there, and you can find an invite to my Discord from my Twitter, which I assume will be linked somewhere in the description.
If you want me to link it, I can. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm also going to link your YouTube because that is funny.
Yeah, fair. And my YouTube also has links to my Twitter and my
I think
Discord.
I can. I think using YouTube, you can just add people now, which is cool.
I see. Yeah. I don't plan on posting much on my YouTube channel, but the stuff I do have posted there is quality content. Give it a watch. There's an inventory link video actually there, though it is a much older and
Much older version.
less well put together of inventory link than what we just showcased.
What we
This
played
is like
through.
the latest, most highest quality version.
Yeah, and we didn't even
highest
really
caliber.
showcase anything. This
No,
was
we
a
didn't.
proper showcase.
Well, I mean, it was quite a proper one. I mean,
yeah, fair enough.
it was pretty good,
The
but
fuck was that?
Yeah.
I'm tabbed out of Minecraft. All right, you know, I'm just dead. Cool. Yeah, very, very cool. I can't even go in creative. All right, so that's gonna be it for. Oh my god.
Oh fuck, that was not the right coordinates.
That's gonna be it for the podcast. Rourke's links will be wherever. There will be more things with Rourke in the future because Rourke mentioned the idea of making a ranking of all Minecraft updates, which will be fun, along with some other things. But it's very late. It's 4 a.m. now, and I need to sleep. You probably aren't going to sleep.
Yeah, fair point. Fair point.
Yeah, this is the longest podcast to date because you just wanted to do things. This is almost 2 hours. This is 1 hour and 41 minutes.
But hey, we beat the dragon.
We beat the dragon. I can now clickbait this video saying this podcast won't end until the Ender Dragon is beaten. So I mean,
and it wouldn't be clickbait.
No, wouldn't be
You can only
clickbait.
say that.
So thank you for being a great co-host today, or a great guest. I guess you're not even.
Thank you for inviting me on.